All veterans and active military are invited to salute. Our national anthem will be sung by Audra Bronson.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Good evening and welcome. At this time, I would like to introduce one of my co-hosts, Fatima Rahim.
Thank you, everyone. It's such an honor to be here in the presence of so many outstanding individuals. I'd like to take this moment to thank our community for coming out to honor and celebrate some of Idaho's finest heroes. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I would like to welcome our third co-host onto the stage. He's not as smart or attractive as I am, but he's here, so please join me in welcoming my cousin and brother, Mustafa Rahim.
Well, I think the smarter and more attractive topic, that's very debatable. But one thing that isn't debatable is I'm extremely grateful to be up here. I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to slowly but surely take over the reins and lead the new generation onto whatever we have in store for the future of JRM. I'd like to thank the community for coming out. It means a lot to us and everyone that put in the hard work to make this what it was. So with that, I'd like to also welcome my dad to the stage, Naeem Rahim.
Before I start, I want to make sure we're not taking over any country at this point. As you can see, we are from a third world country originally, and we tend to run the legacies in families. So I'm very humbled to be introduced by my son and to see my niece on the stage. Because the future of the foundation has always been to be able to run beyond us, after us, long after us. So a round of applause for the young ones. Welcome, everybody. As usual, I did not write a speech. And as usual, for good luck, and for the fact that I cannot tie my bow tie, my brother tied my tie again. I almost lost the opportunity of having him around to tie my bow tie this year. I don't know if many of you know this, but Fahim got diagnosed with cancer earlier this year. And adversity, as you know it, affected us. And we've seen our share of adversity. We come from a background that was sometimes full of violence due to the situation of the country that we grew up in. And I have never felt adversity the way I felt it. And I can tell you that some people are wired differently. And one of the most interesting and strong person I know on earth is my mother. And I think a little bit of that rubbed on Fahim, and he has become and has always been very strong. So a round of applause for my brother for not dying. The problem is if he had croaked, you guys would be eating out of a tiffin, and this thing would be happening in a parking lot. I want to welcome all of you here tonight, and I want to welcome the guests, the medalists. It's a great honor to have you here, but I tell you, after 7 years of doing this, you have joined a fraternity of very, very big people. Their names that range from ordinary housewives to senators to children who have stood beyond their norms and the demands of the society and become heroes for their neighbors, for the cities, for the countries, for the world. I'm very excited to have the mayors here. I'm very excited for the car show and the Connor's car show and the family of Connor who has lended his name and his memory to us. Heroes, to me, every year I want to define it. Heroes to me are someone who do things that are not expected of them. We get a lot of people nominated every year, but what we select and what we think of as heroes are people who go above and beyond their norms and stand out. So this year's theme has been adversity and overcoming adversity. A lot of us have overcome adversity, some of us in a better manner than others. Our heroes are the ones who overcome adversity and, in addition to that, make the world better. And let me put on the hat of a physician for a minute and let you know, people who face adversity and then follow it up with doing something good, they live longer than people who don't face adversity. So you guys will be around, and some of you have been around. I don't mean Dr. De La Rosa was a good friend of mine. He's been around. But some of you have been around, and you look forward to seeing you in your 90s. Tonight is going to be a great night. I am thankful to our community, to Idaho, which has given these two boys from Pakistan the opportunity to excel and blossom and flourish. I would like to thank each and every neighbor, member, part of the society who plays their role to make this city, this place, this country a better place. And hopefully when you're done doing that, one day we'll make this world a better place. Because in many cultures, your land and earth is your mother. So I leave you with a thought of be good to each other, be kind, and have a great time tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naeem. At this time, I would like to invite Mayor Blad and Mayor Loomis to come up for a special proclamation. Mayor England sends his regrets. He's been here every year, but he had something come up and can't be here this evening. So, Mayor Blad and Mayor Loomis.
Thank you very much. I am very excited to be able to be up here, and I think it's fantastic you finally got a couple good-looking men up here. We were able to get a beautiful young lady up here, but now finally you have a couple good-looking men. So with that, it's a privilege and an honor for us to be able to offer a proclamation, and Mayor Loomis is going to go ahead and read that.
Proclamation. Idaho Hometown Heroes Medal pays tribute to individuals that comprise Idaho's unique characteristics and achievements. And whereas Idaho Hometown Medal recognizes its people of Idaho who have made great sacrifice to the state. And whereas the accomplishments of Idaho's Hometown Heroes Medal deserves acknowledgement and acclamation and celebration. Now, therefore, we, the undersigned, do hereby proclaim September 9th, 2017, to be Hometown Heroes Medal Day in our communities and urge all citizens to continue to recognize and support this organization in their communities and to celebrate this year's theme, Overcoming Adversity. In witness of, we have hereunto set our hands this 9th day of September in the year of our Lord 2017. Brian C. Blad, Mayor of Pocatello, Kevin B. England, Mayor of Chubbuck, Paul M. Loomis, Mayor of Blackfoot, Rebecca L. Casper, Mayor of Idaho Falls, Dana Kirkham, Mayor of Ammon. Thank you.
Thank you, mayors. Yeah.
Well, I must say that my co-host this year is much better looking than the one I had last year.
Well, thank you. It's an honor, and I am so grateful for this opportunity. Well, I can't wait to honor these individuals, so.
I would say that it's probably time to get started then. I know they're ready, and I know we're definitely ready.
Well then, our first recipient is Anton Newman of Cambridge, Idaho. Anton is a World War II vet who served with the 608th Clearing Division in the U.S. Army. He was deployed to clean up the remains in Hiroshima and Nagasaki after the atomic bombings. This exposed him to severe radiation, leaving him with several cardiovascular diseases, in addition to cancer, diabetes, and blindness. Instead of being given well-deserved resources to overcome these illnesses, he was sent home to die. Despite the countless medical obstacles and severe effects, Anton returned to Cambridge, Idaho, and now at the age of 90, he has not only overcome the countless barriers thrown in his way, but to this day he plays an active role in his community and continues to be a source of joy and inspiration for those around him. Please join me in welcoming Anton Newman to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Anton Newman.
Our next recipient this evening is Matt Morgan from Idaho Falls, the owner of Morgan Construction and Development in Idaho Falls. He was a victim of child abuse at a very young age, which caused him to suffer from dissociative amnesia and post-traumatic stress disorder for 3 decades. He is courageous, strong, and selfless in speaking out against the child abuse and holding people accountable. He established the nonprofit organization known as Building Hope Today, actively working to bring awareness to the prevalence of sexual abuse of children, its terrible impact, and to safeguard those at risk today for a hope-filled tomorrow. Matt's dedication of safeguard, protect, and educate is an endeavor which will have a lasting impact on many, many lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Morgan.
Our next medalist is one of my own personal mentors and someone I really look up to. Dr. Jacob De La Rosa is a local surgeon from Pocatello, Idaho. Shortly after graduating from medical school, Dr. De La Rosa was the victim of a major hit-and-run accident. This left him with a fractured skull, bleeding in his brain, and a career built on endless hard work and effort, ending much sooner than expected. With a great amount of strength and the love and support of his father, Dr. De La Rosa learned not only to walk again, but he trained as a non-dominant hand to continue operating and save his surgical career. Since then, he has brought new surgical facilities and operations to Southeast Idaho and has contributed greatly to his community and the people of Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Dr. De La Rosa to the stage.
Our next recipient is Eric Thomas of St. Anthony. Eric was hit by a car at the age of 12, leaving him a quadriplegic, paralyzed from the chest down with only limited use of his arms and legs, rather arms and hands. Eric doesn't let his disabilities interfere with his life or his desire to help others. He's been an active part of his community as a member of the Fremont County Search and Rescue since 1987, never missing their monthly meetings. He dispatches and monitors unit members for searches, rescues, fundraisers, functions, and much more. Eric has taken advantage of every opportunity to help and serve others, always putting others before himself. Despite facing such hardships, Eric remains optimistic toward life, success, and helping others. His contribution to his community is a gift his community cherishes, and so does Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eric Thomas to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Thomas.
Our next recipient is Kelly Miller of Boise, Idaho. She is the Executive Director of the Idaho Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence. Kelly is an active leader in ending and preventing violence in her community and throughout the state of Idaho. Kelly's determination and dedication has led the coalition in building organizations, programs, and systems to provide safe and accessible services to those exposed to violence and increase offender accountability. She has a strong commitment to all Idahoans, providing access to the judicial system, helping Idahoans with critical legal problems such as escaping domestic violence and sexual assault, protecting abused and neglected children, preserving housing, helping vulnerable seniors, and stopping discrimination. Kelly Miller has shown great dedication in bringing justice and safety to countless individuals across Idaho. Please welcome to the stage, Kelly Miller.
Our next recipient is known to many simply as Barry. Barry Bennett Hunt of Pocatello, Idaho, is the owner of Barry's Ski and Sports Store. Barry's involvement and dedication to the people of Idaho shines in his endless efforts of providing quality access to the great outdoors. Barry's been a big part of hosting and arranging countless different rides and funding multiple trails throughout Pocatello, including Pocatello City Creek, Pedal Fest, Four Peaks Grand Fondue, Spinderella Bike Race, City Creek Trails, and Barry's annual Galena Summit Ride. Hundreds and thousands of people have had their lives transformed with his passion for the outdoors and his hands-on community effort. Barry went through a cardiac bypass surgery at the age of 63 and experienced complications just a few months ago. However, Barry hasn't let any hurdles in his life set him back from doing what he loves and in serving the people in the place that he loves. Barry continues to inspire others, stay active with his passions, and keeps giving back to the community on all levels. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Hunt. Barry Hunt.
Our next recipient is Lee Hammett. Lee Hammett is the president of the board of directors of the Community Dinner Table, CDT. Every Tuesday night between the months of October and March, this dinner has created strong bonds between people of different religions. People of 12 different faiths throughout the community of Blackfoot have set their religious differences aside for a common goal, serving your fellow human. The CDT is dedicated to reducing hunger in Bingham County, but also reducing loneliness and teaching people how to serve their fellow man, despite cultural and religious differences. From the CDT, several services have started, such as the Community Garden, the Christmas food boxes in association with the Idaho Food Bank, and the Southeastern Idaho Community Action Agency, the Food Corner, monthly mobile pantry food distribution at the Eastern Idaho State Fairgrounds associated with the Idaho Food Bank, and the newest, the weekly food pantry at Bingham County Senior Center. Lee Hammett has taken the task of coordinating and organizing these services. He has helped the community overcome religious adversity and brought diverse individuals of Bingham County together in a positive and reinforcing manner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lee Hammett to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Hammett.
Our next recipient is Colonel Greg W. Nickish. The colonel has held several positions serving the U.S. Army throughout Central America, Europe, and Southeast Asia. Commander of a parachute cavalry unit, General Staff Officer, 1st Infantry Division, and 3rd Armored Division, Exchange Officer at German Military Academy. Additionally, Colonel Nickish has been extremely involved in Idaho State University as organizer and chair of ISU Veterans Affairs Committee, Rhodes, Mellon, and Marshall Scholarship Advisor, faculty advisor for countless student organizations. He's given several guest lectures on topics ranging from terrorism and political violence to the business climate in reunited Germany. To top his well-accomplished resume, the Colonel has been dedicated to the art of teaching, and his career, despite facing health challenges, he continues to perform his duties as a teacher. He has worked on the Council Executive Board of the Boy Scouts of America, the International Service Director and Veteran Service Committee Chair for the Pocatello Rotary Club, and as an advisor for the Shoshone-Bannock Bilingual Education Project. Colonel Nikish has been a devoted citizen, dedicating his time to not only his local community, but also to communities across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage Colonel Nikish. Colonel Nikish, ladies and gentlemen.
Our next recipient is Principal Cheryl Brockett. Cheryl Brockett has been a school administrator in District 25 for the past 20 years. In the last 9 years, as principal of Century High School of Pocatello, Idaho, Cheryl has led Century in becoming one of the top 1,000 schools in the nation. Under her leadership and dedication to the students of Century, the school has won over 20 state championships and has maintained a 95% graduation rate. Ms. Brockett spends countless hours ensuring her students have a safe environment, successful experiences, and encourages them every day to exceed the norm. Ladies and gentlemen, Principal Cheryl Brockett. Principal Cheryl Brockett.
Our last recipient this evening is Randy L. Teton, a member of the Shoshone-Bannock tribes, and one who has served as the tribe's public affairs manager for the past 6 years. Randy L. is the first in her immediate family to attain a 4-year college degree, graduating from the University of New Mexico with a BA in art history and a minor in Native American studies. She has overcome adversity in both tribal and non-tribal worlds. Being an educated Native American woman, she has bridged the gap by educating the public to her tribe's rich history, culture, government, and economic projects. Randy L. is also involved with several community organizations, such as Pocatello Rotary, Idaho Historical Society, Southeast Idaho Travel Council, Museum of Idaho board member, and former Blackfoot Chamber of Commerce board member. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Randy L. Teton. Randy LT time, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we're in for a very special treat. We would like to invite Tyson Shea and Medicine Thunder Drum Group from the Fort Hall Reservation to do an honor song for all of our medal recipients. Tyson Shea and Medicine Thunder Drum Group from Fort Hall. Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage once again Mayor Blad and Jeff Tingey, Director of Athletics at ISU. Jeff's here. September 21st, 1996. Marcus Jackson suffers a tragic injury. It was a simple tackle in the first half of an otherwise nondescript 47-0 victory over Montana Western. It was a tackle that would change a life and touch a community. Marcus Jackson suffered a traumatic spinal injury on the tackle, becoming paralyzed from the neck down. Marcus, however, returned to school the following year, and in the summer of 1999, he truly became one of the most heroic figures in ISU history when he battled to earn a bachelor's degree, despite what some would say was an insurmountable handicap. Insurmountable to most, but not to Marcus Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marcus Jackson.
There's a flower in the smallest garden, reaching for the light. And there's a candle in the darkest corner, conquering the night. There is amazing strength in the willing hand. There are victories that you've never planned. There's a hero in everybody's heart. There's a fire inside of everybody, burning clear and bright. And there's a power in the faintest heartbeat that cannot be denied. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're gonna take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're gonna take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's heart. There's a hero in everybody's heart.
Thank you, Karen Pipkin. We also would like to recognize head coach Rob Finisci, who is also on stage with us this evening. And once again, Marcus, thank you so much for being such a wonderful inspiration to all of us.
I would like to welcome to the stage my own hero, my teacher, my best friend, my father, and the one who makes it all possible. Please welcome Fahim Rahim.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Fatma. So I'm so glad to see that my brother finally found his tuxedo, because for the last 4 weeks he's been blaming me that I hid it or I stole it. But can you guess where it was found? In his closet. And I know there have been a lot of men before me who've claimed to be the best looking, but when you set the whole timeline for the event, you know, since I said it, I get to keep the last word, Mayor. So I don't even have to say any more. I cannot tell you how thankful I am to see all of you come out there and support this. This started as a small dream, like many dreams do 11 years ago. And we started in a small auditorium in a hospital in 2011. And the whole idea behind was to tell the world that there's a lot more goodness in the world than there's evil. I would hate to leave this world with my kids and your kids believing the narrative that there's a lot of evil around the world, because there's not. Sadly, the goodness doesn't get as much recognition as it deserves. And that's the main effort for us to have this event. Now, our theme for this year is overcoming adversity. I've practiced medicine for the last 20 years, and I've seen a lot of challenges and tough times in my patients, their families, how they struggled, they fought, and I witnessed it, I lived it with them. But something became very different when it came upon me and my family. 5 months ago, on a regular weekday hike, which I'm crazy enough to start at 7 at night and go up 11 at Pebble Creek, for some of you know. And a bunch of my crazy brothers and friends, we hike up and spend a couple of hours skiing, and I came down the ski hill at 11 and wake up the next morning with severe abdominal pain. And being a doctor, you know, I gave everything that I had in my closet for the next 2 days. Finally, I decided to scan myself and found that I had a tumor. Now, that evening went like this. I was standing in front of the screen in a radiology room, and I was looking at something that I knew exactly what it was, but I wasn't scared for myself. I just had both of my daughters, Fatima and Lilina, standing next to me, and I had to keep my calm, and at that time it really hit me. Not about me. What really went in my mind was what's going to happen to my girls and my son and my family. And at that time, this whole notion of adversity hits you. It really shakes you to the core. But it only keeps getting different. You find strength within yourself, and then you try to move on. So I moved on. So I called some friends at Huntsman. I ended up 3 days later in a surgery room at Huntsman Cancer Center on a Monday evening. And I came out from that and spent a few days in the hospital. But what transpired after that really tells you as a human being that there's no level of what can shake you to the core. Being a doctor for the last 20 years, and Dr. Del Rosa is here, and he will tell you that as physicians, we run to blue code, and as soon as Code Blue calls, all the doctors and nurses and the whole hospital runs to the room. But when there's a Code Brown, there's no doctor running to Code Brown. They don't even know what happened, you know? And for some of you who don't know what Code Brown is, and most of my nurses and fellow people who are here would know, when Code Brown is called, it basically you wake up in the middle of your sleep realizing you're full of shit. And I was full of shit. Not figuratively or literally, but I was. And my brother was standing right on my face, hugging me and telling me not to worry. And what the next 30, 40 minutes I went through in my life, I realized I had no control on anything. When you lose control of the most bodily functions of your life, it really shakes you to the core, and you realize what your life's all about. So what I'm going to do next is, I'm going to show you a small video clip, because this clip is from 5 months ago when I was asked, actually the next day, so I cleaned up pretty good, as you'll see, by Relay for Life, to speak a few words for one of their fundraisers. So we're gonna show the video just now. My name is Dr. Fahim Rahim, and I've been a physician for over 20 years. I live in eastern Idaho, and I'm also an athlete, endurance athlete. What you guys are getting together tonight is very powerful. Even I had no idea of 20 years of practicing medicine what the real power of healing can be. When people get united, they cheer for a cause, they push you through the finish line. I found that out recently in the last week when I was diagnosed with tumors in my abdomen, carcinite, for which I had to have surgery done 3 days ago at Huntsman Cancer Center. And I can tell you that with you guys gathering there tonight, is we all, as patients, seek when you're facing tough times and hurdles. I've been many 100-mile bike races all over the country, and this is nothing different. When you're in the middle of that bike race, and you're hurting and you're cramping, and you have a goal in mind, then the most important goal for you is to see your loved ones at the finish line. So the power of you getting together there tonight, don't underestimate it. Every second you donate of your time, and every penny you donate comes all the way to help thousands of millions whose lives you will touch. Well, so for many of you who've not seen me in anything other than my suit, now you've seen me in my pajamas, you've seen me in my wife beater shirt, you've seen me pretty much in every other, available piece of clothing in my closet. Now, when I made that video, I had no idea what I was trying to do. I was just trying to help. And I was trying to overcome my own adversity. But as the time became more clear, I realized the real challenge of adversity is not just to be able to overcome what you have, but what you learn through that experience and how you use it moving forward. So if I was to just overcome my adversity and move away, I will not serve the purpose. And that's what you've seen tonight. You've seen these amazing individuals who've gone through challenges and adversities in their lives for many multitude of reasons, and they keep coming back and they keep giving more. And I think that is the real essence of overcoming adversity. What we did tonight was getting together and recognizing the goodness of people and inspiring each other, and I think that is the real message that our children need to hear, the world needs to hear. I'm truly humbled, and I'm honored to be in the presence of these amazing people from Anton Newton, from Colonel Craig Nickish, Barry, Eric. You guys are amazing examples of what an individual and human being needs to be, regardless of our background, our color, our religion, our creed. We all made of one. Well, what I'm going to do next is what I did, call my wife a month later and called a couple of my crazy friends and my brother, who is sometimes crazier than I can be, and we decided 2 months later of this video that we're going to go in the mountains, take our bikes, and really get down and dirty, meet the people, and really see what we can do. What we were embarking on a journey truly turned into a movement. And you've seen that booth out there, which is called I Am Human, hashtag I'm Human. And the whole idea of that experience was to really connect with people and the land and places that we've never seen. So I did something really, really unimaginable, according to media. I took 2 white friends of mine from Idaho to Pakistan, where completely northern remote area. And we decided we're gonna ride our bikes in one of the most tough terrains where no American and no other individual has ever ridden their bikes before. I just want to share with you that journey, because like that song said earlier, there's a lot of fire in our heart. We just have to kindle it and push it forward, and we can make miracles happen. But it's a really cool video that I would like to share with you very briefly now. So we're excited to share with you a great adventure.
Tell them about what we're going to do.
So 24 hours on plane from US, an hour and 30 minutes flight from Islamabad to Gilgit, 3-hour Jeep ride. Then we're going to get into this high mountain pass, which is pretty steep terrain. It's about 11 to 1,200 kilometers, which is going to climb almost about 3,800 feet, 12 to 1,500 meters. And the biggest thing is
We're going to be the first American and first Pakistani to climb this pass, and we're going to do it as a team.
yeah. So can somebody guess where my brother was during the whole time I was on the bike? No, he wasn't on the drone. He was on one of the Jeeps. But I wanted to share this experience because we all go through adversities and challenges in our lives. Once we overcome them, I think the real challenge is to take that experience and help others who are going through similar situations and do what we can to help them. Just the power of all of you getting together tonight and talking about these amazing individuals and their stories is a very, very powerful thing. And I'm so glad to see a lot of kids and your children being part of this, because that is the real message. The real message is there's a lot more goodness in the world than there's evil, and we all got to strive to keep ourselves moving forward and helping others. I'm going to finish this talk with just one simple quote that you probably have seen in all of the JRM Foundation booklets. And I think every time I read it, I really keep getting inspired more and more. This is how it goes. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You're not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fahim. We would like to thank all of you for being here this evening. We would especially like to thank our honored guests this evening for contributing so much to our lives and to the lives of our community. And I would like to thank my co-hosts, because this is the generation that's going to be taking care of us. And I'm really proud of them. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the retiring of the colors? Once again, I would like to thank our honor guard, the Teton and district pipes and drums, and all of you for joining us this evening for what we feel is a very, very, very special night. For those of you who are staying for the dinner, we ask that you exit through the front door. For those of you who will be leaving us, we ask you to exit through the side door. Thank you so much for being with us this evening, and God bless.
Good job.